Well, we're back right here on Hella Kuwait, and I hope everyone out there is enjoying their evening. Right now we have our first interview segment. We have with us William Anderson, Associate Professor and Chair of the Art and Graphic Design Department at the American University, Kuwait. Joined this evening also by Zena Dabbous, Visual Artist and Manager of the Fine Art Department at LAPA. And also joined by Dianne Chaaban, who is a Professional Associate Public Affairs Office at the U.S. Embassy right here in the state of Kuwait. We'd like to welcome you all to our program, Hella Kuwait.
Hi.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you. And Dianne, maybe we could start with you by giving our audience a little brief about the collaboration between the U.S. Embassy and LAPA a little bit.
Sure. As we approach the 60th anniversary of U.S.-Kuwaiti ties, we wanted to create a piece of art that could live on for many years to come. We wanted it to be a collaboration between a U.S. and Kuwaiti artist to commemorate the years of friendship, relationship between our two countries, but we also wanted to highlight the role of women in the U.S. bilateral relationship. We felt that most people are pretty familiar with the role the United States played in the liberation of Kuwait, and that's a super critical moment in our relationship. But we felt there were more stories in our history to share that were really important to us. So that was our kind of brainchild of this moment.
Great to hear that. We're going to take a short break, dear viewers, and then be back with our distinguished guests. Stay tuned.
The ground and the things we don't want to step on. After our shoes log countless miles and eventually they wear out, that's when they need to be repaired by a cobbler. A cobbler, also known as a shoemaker or cordwainer, repairs and restores footwear. It's one of the world's oldest professions that peaked long ago, but is still going strong in Kuwait. It's a job that doesn't require large financial capital, just needs lots of patience, expertise, perseverance, and a small spot to set up shop. Originally, cobblers made custom shoes. Today, they spend their workdays repairing, restoring, and improving shoes, boots, sandals, clogs.
Well, we're back right here on Hella Kuwait, and I hope everyone out there is enjoying their evening. Maybe Dianne could tell us a little bit now the idea of how this mural came about. I mean, how did that come about?
Sure. So it came about, we wanted to celebrate the 60 years of diplomatic ties between the United States and Kuwait. And we wanted to focus on the role of women in that relationship because we think it's a story not often told. We know that many people are familiar with the role of the United States in the liberation of Kuwait, and that's a very critical moment in our relationship. But there's also a lot more in our shared history. It's more than 60 years together. So we wanted to highlight that moment in addition to the relationships beyond that.
So we have people from AUK and LAPA.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about LAPA. Why were they chosen?
So we had worked with LAPA on a couple projects before. They were also a grantee we'd worked with. We considered a number of candidates, but some things we really wanted to hit was we wanted female artists, we wanted Kuwaiti artists, and we wanted an American artist, and they were able to deliver all of those things to us. Also, their professionalism and experience in the world of music and art, so it just was a really good fit for this project.
Good to hear that. And William, I know you've been in Kuwait about 15 years or so?
About 14 years or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your participation in this big project.
Right. So I had the main artist that was picked out from LAPA was Amira Bahani, and I had worked with her before on a number of projects. She had been to AUK to do some workshops, also do some jury for some exhibitions. And we had been in many exhibitions together. Some of the initiatives that she put together So I thought when she asked me, this would be a great opportunity to work together with a number of artists on this big mural project.
Okay. Zena, tell us a little bit about LAPA's role in this. I mean, it was a big collaborative effort with a lot of different people. Tell us about LAPA's role, please.
LAPA's role was really just researching the idea, actually envisioning the U.S. Embassy's vision of what they wanted to represented by the mural, and also to find, again, the American artist is William from Amira Bahbahani, and I'm a visual artist myself, and Amira Bahbahani is a visual artist herself, and we wanted to have this collaboration together and to execute really what the
Amira
US
is really
Embassy.
good. She's so talented. And,
yeah. She really mentored us a lot on this one. Yeah.
Okay. So William, tell us a little bit now, how did you collect the murals info? How did this all go about?
Right, we had a number of initial meetings, and there was some really great planning by Zena and Amira and myself coming together with ideas. But then when we started, it was really more improvisational. And each of the artists would do one item or one background, putting together different images, conflating them together. So it was sort of a process of something being planned, but then also being very open to seeing what Zena did and then myself working against it, or seeing what Amira did and then working together with it.
So what mediums did you use?
It was mostly collage based as well as acrylic. So most of the paint on the mural is acrylic, although we did a number of different spray paints, different varnishes on the work.
Nice.
So it's really a collaborative group effort with a very mixed media.
Tell us about that. I mean, it sounds like it was a really nice experience for everyone.
Yes, it was. It was very also challenging. I'm a fairly new artist, but so William and Amir really mentored me a lot. I learned a lot from their techniques. And it was really fascinating to work with because we had to incorporate so many different things, so many different subjects and different mediums. And that's what was really challenging and very rewarding. And I'm very honored to have been part of the project.
Well, Dianne, it looks like it all came together and was revealed, I think, on March 25th, correct?
Yes, it was
So
part
tell
of-
us about where was it revealed and where will it be? Is it still ongoing, please?
Yes, so it was revealed by National Council of Culture, Arts, and Letters. They graciously hosted us for part of the Al Quran Festival, and I apologize if my pronunciation is poor.
No, it's good. It's good.
Thank you.
Very good.
And it's still on display in the Museum of Modern Art there. So if you haven't checked it out already, recommend that you do so if you can. And we're absolutely thrilled with what you guys came up with.
Thank you so
We came
much.
with ideas, and you guys made it a reality.
Thank
so
you.
thank you very much.
We're
Well,
going to
go
also
ahead.
we'll have a future lecture, William, if you
Yes.
want to tell us.
Yeah,
Tell us
so
about that,
probably,
William.
End of May, beginning of June, we're going to be having another lecture on the work, because it's really a work that you see some big images, you see some big ideas, but the more you look at it, there's a depth, and you can go deeper and deeper into the work, into the history that we put into the work. And we did really a lot of research going back into the relationship between the U.S. and Kuwait over a century, and then mostly focused on the last 60 years. But there's a lot of information there that I think is that we discovered as we were working on the mural that is really exciting for us and for hopefully for an audience.
So there'll be a lecture coming up towards the
Yes.
end of May.
Yes.
Will there be another revealing then also? Maybe looking forward to that, or what? Tell us a little bit about that.
We really hope to have the piece actually there for the lecture, of course, so people
Okay.
will be able to view it in person.
All
Yes.
right, that looks forward to that lecture that's coming up. So tell us now a little bit. You all worked together on this, so I'm sure you learned a lot about each other and learned a little bit about the history of Kuwait and the United States. Tell us
Yeah.
more about that.
Well, like I was saying, the mentoring was a big part of my experience, but also it was a challenge with William and Amira to have our own styles being represented, because every artist has a different style, and that was the biggest challenge with putting it in a cohesive manner, because Amira had a style, I have a style, and William has a style, and we had to just put it together.
But it all
that was
meshed together.
exciting.
Everyone
that was
worked
really-
together?
It was really, yes, exactly. And that's what really made the mural, I think, stand out and being very unique and also being very visually pleasing.
Great to hear that. And William, is there a chance now during Ramadan, is it still people can go and look?
Yeah, it's a display at the Museum of Modern Art, so you can come and see the work. I believe it's on a permanent display now, and you can see it at any time. But then, of course, we'll have another lecture maybe at the end of May, beginning of June.
Well, Dianne, you know the things are opening up now in terms of the COVID restrictions and so
Yes.
forth. So we hope to have more cultural events in
Yes.
collaboration with the U.S. Embassy in the near future.
Yes, I mean, we're always working on a bunch of events, but I think you're going to see a lot more activity from us coming down the road.
Well, we look forward to those activities coming up in the near future, and we appreciate your time with us right here on
Thank
Hala
you very
Kuwait.
much.
And
Thank you for having me.
Dan, do you have any last words or comments for the audience who are watching this evening?
I would say please come and check out this piece of art. As we discussed before, the more you look at it, the more you see, the more you learn. And it's, I think art can convey a message that words can't. And that's part of why we wanted to have it be an art piece rather than, say, some printed op-ed or something like that, something people can take in and take their
Sure.
own emotions from. So
Very well said. What about you, William? Any last words for our audience tuning in tonight?
A picture says 1,000 words. So as was said, you cannot express everything with just words. But taking it all in, taking the imagery, the poetry of the work that we tried to bring to the work, and this working together, I think, is very much like Kuwait. You have people from all around the world
Sure.
working together, and hopefully it's a richer and better thing for all of us.
That's what we hope for. Zena, any last words for the audience?
I would just like to say that for LAPA especially, I'd love to have more projects like this in the future for the community, for other artists to join in, and that's what LAPA is all about. It's about joining artists with whether it's art, dance, or music, or drama, to really reflect that in the society of Kuwait. And it's exciting to see the youth be part of these projects as well. And of course, always to work with William again and the U.S. Embassy, and that would be an honor.
Well, that's great. It was a pleasure to have you
Thank
all
you.
on our
Thank you so
program,
much.
and wish you all the best of luck in your future endeavors.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for
Thank you.
coming.
Ramadan
for having
Kareem.
us.
We'd like to
Ramadan
thank
Kareem.
our guest, William Anderson, Associate Professor and Chair of the Art and Graphic Design Department at the American University of Kuwait, and Zena Dabbous, Visual Artist and Manager of the Fine Art Department at LAPA, and Dianne Chaaban, Professional Associate Public Affairs Office at the U.S. Embassy, for their time with us this evening right here on Hala Kuwait.